Faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the Word of God. It's time for Faith to Live By with Sue Taylor.
Thank you for joining me today on Faith to Live By. This is Sue Taylor. You know, everything in this life is only temporary. It says the really happy man is the one who can enjoy the scenery when he has to take a detour. I remember reading a story that Michelle Huey, author, talked about years ago when she moved into an unfinished basement 13 miles from the nearest town. Her and her husband and the children did this hoping to save rent money as they built their house themselves. And she'd given up her teaching position to be a stay-at-home mom, and so money was scarce with just her husband's income from his work at the local scrapyard. The children were still toddlers, and boxes and clothes and toys cluttered every square foot as she struggled to make that concrete cubicle a home. She said the furnace on loan from her husband's boss, until they could afford a larger one, needed repair, and when they had moved in, it was already mid-November and winter was closing in fast. A constant fire in the wood stove did little to warm up the concrete surrounding them. Insulating the place was still on their to-do list, and she wore long underwear, a toboggan hat, and layers of clothing indoors. The plumbing was unfinished, and so they hooked up a garden hose to the water tank and fed it through the hole in the wall above the tub for the fixtures. Lugging pots of hot water from the kitchen, she'd flooded the bathroom floor twice trying to get the kids' bath ready. Her back ached from sleeping on an old lumpy sofa bed, and as she thought about her comfortable queen-size bed still stored away, unpacked and waiting for their new home. She said 3 days of disorganization, interruptions, and things gone wrong left her struggling with her emotions. Have you ever been there? She said she found herself asking, why can't I have nice things the easy way like everybody else? Why am I always a have-not and never a have? Although she said she tried not to complain too much, her husband sensed her lack of gratitude and tried to cheer her up. And he would keep reminding her it's only temporary. And he'd say when her impatience oozed through the cracks of her composure, it's only temporary. She'd turn away so he wouldn't see the smoldering anger and the tears in her eyes. Then she said an early snowstorm dumped 6 inches on the countryside overnight. Every 2 hours she had to bundle up even more, and then they found themselves having to shovel swirling drifts away from the only door they had. Flinging the wet, heavy snow over her shoulders, she finally gave in to self-pity. Temporary, temporary, she cried. Is everything temporary? She said the answer came immediately. Even if you had everything exactly the way you wanted it, it would still be temporary. She said she couldn't argue with that. And when a grumbling and a lack of gratitude wipes away your sense of God's abundant provision in your life, beloved, remember that whether things are good or bad, it's all temporary. Live for the moment. Enjoy right now. It's the only moment you have. And the way that you do that is to focus on gratitude and focus on praise. Remember that in the Lord's Prayer, that it says, hallowed be thy name. It comes before give us this day our daily bread. Probably we are not as likely to forget our wants as we are to neglect gratitude. So we need to praise and worship God in these unscheduled delays that we have been given from God or allowed in our lives, and to know that everything is temporary. And when we focus on praise, it helps us to live with that temporary situation much more easier.
You've been listening to Faith to Live By with Sue Taylor. If you would like to write with your comments or to request a copy of this program for an $8 donation, write Sue Taylor, 10827 Highway 86 East, Neosho, Missouri, 64850. Sue Taylor is a member of the KNEO team and a keynote speaker at several church and women's events throughout the 4-state area. To book Sue for your next event, contact Sky High Radio at 417-451-5636.